Good morning and welcome to Our Chicago. I'm Judy Sue. According to the American Heart Association, roughly every 40 seconds, someone in this country has a heart attack. Heart disease is the #1 killer among men and women in the U.S. But the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that only about 56% of women are aware of that. American Heart Month begins on Wednesday, followed by National Wear Red Day on Friday. So this morning, we're talking about who might be at risk for heart disease and also the importance of quick action for someone experiencing cardiac arrest. My guests are Dr. Mercedes Carnathan, president of the American Heart Association Chicago Metropolitan Board, and she is also the vice chair of preventative medicine at Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine. And we also have Kristen Walenga. She is a survivor of sudden cardiac arrest and also the founder of the nonprofit Kristen's Heartbeat. We will talk about all of that coming up. Good morning to the both of you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning.
So let's start with Dr. Carnathan. As we just mentioned, the CDC reports that heart disease has been the leading cause of death in the U.S. since 1950. But I want to ask you about the number of people who are dying. How is that number trending right now? And what about women?
You know, it's been really an unfortunate situation that we haven't seen declines in the number of people with cardiovascular diseases and heart disease. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, affecting so many individuals and their families. But I think what goes unspoken is that it's not just heart disease, the heart attacks that we hear about that are amongst those leading causes of death, but there are other vascular diseases that also fall in that top 10. Strokes, diabetes, and even the COVID-19 pandemic, which has risen to be the third leading cause of death. People with heart disease are much more likely to experience severe complications from COVID-19. So we have a real problem, and it affects women and men equally.
And Doctor, remind us, what puts people most at risk for heart disease, and is that any different for women?
You know, the risk factors for heart disease for women and men are very similar. We often are very aware of the genetic component, but an even larger component is our lifestyle behaviors. Smoking is one of the leading modifiable behavioral risk factors for cardiovascular disease. Physical inactivity, even things such as short sleep or poor quality sleep and a poor diet, all of those contribute to the development of risk factors such as obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and those combine to be the reasons why we see cardiovascular disease in women and men.
Yeah, so many factors to consider. Kristen, I want to bring you in on this conversation. We mentioned that you experienced sudden cardiac arrest at home in 2019. You were 45 years old, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you have any reason to think you were at risk?
Absolutely not. In fact, like most people, I had not even heard of sudden cardiac arrest until it happened to me. And, you know, it is a public health crisis, and not too many people understand exactly what it is, which is an arrhythmia that happens within the heart versus a blockage or like a clogged artery type of thing. So I had no idea, and I was in great health and actually a very busy mom of 4, teacher, wife, doing all the normal things, feeling great with healthy checkups.
Wow, how scary is that? People might be surprised to know at that moment who saved your life. Who was it, and how did he know what to do?
Yes, so at that moment I was at home, which 70% of sudden cardiac arrests do happen in the home. And so I was at home making breakfast for my 4 children. My husband was actually at work. So my life was literally in the hands of my children, who were from the ages of 9 to 15 at the time. And so my son luckily had learned, unbeknownst to us, CPR as part of a program at his middle school. And he heard the commotion following my collapse, and my 2 youngest children had witnessed it. So he heard them calling for help and yelling and screaming, and he came upon the scene, and he immediately recognized that it was a cardiac emergency from what he learned in school, and again, immediately began chest compressions.
Wow, this was your middle schooler.
Yeah, he was 15 at the time. He learned it in middle school.
Gives me chills Just
few years
thinking about
prior.
that.
Yes.
Okay, so much more to ask. I'm going to pause our conversation right here. Stay with me right now. When we come back, we're just going to take a short break right now. We will continue that conversation about CPR and also more about how women can lower their risk of heart disease. We will be right back.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.